The Benedetto Marcello Sonata number 6 in G major was written originally for cello with a figured bass for the keyboard. And of course, in his time, in the Baroque period, the keyboard could have been an organ, a chamber organ, or harpsichord. There would not have been a fully written out piano part because the keyboard player would have used the bass line with the figured bass in order to create the notes that they were going to play. And when we play these sonatas by Marcello, or indeed any Baroque composer, we really need to pay attention to the bass line and to the harmonies that are implied, because most of the time the melody depends upon the harmony. The first movement of the sonata in G major is marked Adagio. This is one of the slowest speeds that we get given as a tempo indication in music. But of course, speed is always relative. And in Baroque music, which is so completely governed by harmony, we need to think in terms of the pace at which the harmony changes when we're thinking about the slowness, the actual speed in terms of, if you like, BPM that we're going to play. And at the beginning of this sonata, it's got 4 beats in the bar. The harmonies changing every half bar. And then later on, when it starts to change with every beat, we get a different feeling of momentum. Now, when we start looking at these sorts of things, this movement here, Adagio, has got a lot of fast-looking notes. We've got demi-semiquavers all over the place. So the chances are, when we're thinking about it, we're going to be thinking in a subdivided beat. So we're going to be thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if we're not careful, what's going to come out is that subdivision. I can even play legato and melodically. But if I think all the subdivisions and I let the music flow in the 8 quavers, first of all, the amount of harmony that stays the same is too long for the piece. So we need to think about this early plagal cadence. We have yam da 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 ya di da dum. That's what should be going on in our mind, the bass line and the fact that we have a plagal cadence there. Or at least a plagal cadence. We start on the chord of 1 and the bar finishes on the chord of 4. Now, for this reason, I would advise against doing a tucked bowing, because it takes us to the G, but when we play that G, which is on the 2nd beat, the harmony hasn't changed. We need to lead through the phrase until we get to the new harmony. And something similar is going to happen in the next bar. The harmony is different. The harmony is basically a dominant. Ya dee da da dee da dee dum. So we have keep moving, moving, moving till you get to the halfway point in the bar. And of course, we can tell that the composer wants us to make an emphasis on that half bar because he's given it an emphasis not just by giving us an appoggiatura, but by decorating the appoggiatura with a trill. Then we get a really long phrase which starts again with the harmony moving in half bars, but as we build up to the modulation into D major, when we get to the double bar, you can feel that the harmony starts changing with every beat. D major harmony, And there we are, we've arrived in D major. And to finish, we just have a decorated cadence. So we're not saying anything more. So this can come back a little bit in terms of volume and intensity. Because in a sense, Marcello's said everything that he wants to say. He's taken us to D major, he's taken us to the dominant key, and this is just relaxing there and saying, okay, this is where we've arrived.